Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like the odds were stacked against you? Like no matter how hard you try, the doors just won't open? If you've ever been there, then you need to hear this. Les Brown, one of the greatest motivational speakers of our time, says you gotta be hungry, and he's right. Because hunger, that burning desire, that insatiable need to succeed, is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Imagine this. You wake up every morning, not with dread, but with purpose. You look in the mirror, and instead of seeing your flaws, you see your potential. You see what could be, not what is. This is what Les Brown preaches. He teaches us that our greatest enemy is not the circumstances around us, but the limitations we place on ourselves. He says, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. If you're sitting there wondering if you can, Les would tell you, it's possible. Not just for someone else. Not just for those who are already successful, but for you, yes, you. It's possible to build that business. It's possible to transform your health. It's possible to turn your dreams into reality. But only if you're hungry enough, ... So today, ask yourself, how hungry am I? Am I willing to sacrifice, to push, to persist? Am I willing to do whatever it takes? Because as Les Brown says, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. And that's the truth. The brutal, beautiful truth. Now, let's talk about the one thing that holds most of us back: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. Les Brown says, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Think about that for a moment. How often have you let fear dictate your choices? How many times have you said no to an opportunity because you were afraid of failing? But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. It whispers that you're not good enough. It tells you to play it safe, to stay small, to avoid risks. But as Les reminds us, if you run around with 9 losers, pretty soon you'll be the 10th one. You need to step away from fear-driven mindsets and surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you, who see the greatness within you. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff. Below you is your comfort zone, safe, familiar, predictable. But ahead of you is a bridge, rickety and uncertain, leading to your dreams. Les would tell you to take that first step. He'd tell you to leap and grow your wings on the way down. Because here's the secret. You don't need all the answers to get started. You just need courage. Courage to act despite the fear. Courage to take risks. Courage to fail forward. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the journey. Les Brown says, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Every failure, every setback, every door that closes is simply redirection, not rejection. It's life's way of testing your resolve, asking, how bad do you want it? If you fall 7 times, get up 8. Because persistence always beats resistance. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the journey. Les Brown says, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Every failure, every setback, every door that closes is simply redirection, not rejection. It's life's way of testing your resolve, asking, how bad do you want it? If you fall 7 times, get up 8. Because persistence always beats resistance. You see, success doesn't start in your wallet, in your business, or in your career. It starts right here in your mind. Les Brown often says you don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. What you are, your mindset, your self-belief, your inner dialogue determines everything. And here's the harsh truth. If you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, that success is for others, not for you, guess what? You're right. But what if you could change that narrative? What if, instead of saying, I can't, you started saying, I can? I must, I will. Les tells the story of how he used to stand in front of the mirror every day, looking himself in the eyes and saying, I am blessed and highly favored. He would affirm, I have greatness within me. He wasn't lying to himself. He was speaking life into his future. He was planting seeds of belief that would one day grow into a garden of success. Studies show that our brains don't know the difference between reality and what we repeatedly tell ourselves. When you affirm positive beliefs, you rewire your brain to seek opportunities, to find solutions, to attract success. Les would tell you to speak your dreams into existence, to say it's possible until every cell in your body believes it. Because when you change your inner dialogue, you change your life. But positive self-talk is only the first step. You also need visualization. Les Brown teaches the power of seeing your success in your mind before it happens. He says, act the way you want to be, and soon you'll be the way you act. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself standing on that stage, signing that contract, living that dream. See it, feel it, believe it, because what the mind can see, it can achieve. Today, I want you to start speaking to yourself differently. When doubt creeps in, say, I am capable. When fear whispers, respond with, I am strong. When failure knocks, declare, I am resilient. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Be the voice that drowns out negativity. And as Les Brown would say, you have greatness within you. It's time to unleash it. Dreams are powerful. They give us hope, direction, and a glimpse of what's possible. But here's the truth. Dreams alone are not enough. Les Brown says the only limits to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you use today. But I'm not ready. But I don't have the resources. But what if I fail? These buts are the bricks that build the wall between where you are and where you want to be. If you want to break through, you need more than just dreams, you need action. Les often shares the story of how he started out. He didn't wait for the perfect opportunity. He created opportunities. When he wanted to become a radio DJ, he didn't sit at home and wish for it. He went to the radio station every single day, offering to do anything. Sweep floors, make coffee. Whatever it took to get his foot in the door. He says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. This is the lesson. Start where you are with what you have. Even if it's small, even if it's imperfect. The key is to start. When you take action, something magical happens, momentum. Momentum is like a snowball. At first, it's small, slow, and hard to push. But with every roll, it gets bigger, faster, more powerful. Les teaches us that consistency is the secret sauce. He says if you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to your dreams. Write that page. Make that call. Show up to that meeting. Every step matters. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment, stop waiting. The perfect moment is now. Take action. Do it messy. Do it afraid. Do it with doubts in your mind, because Les Brown would tell you, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You have a dream. You have the potential. Now, it's time to take action. Start today. Start right now. Because the life you want is on the other side of the action you take today. Let's get real. Life is not always sunshine and rainbows. It will test you. It will push you. It will knock you down. But here's where the magic happens, not in the fall, but in how you rise. Les Brown says, when you fall, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. This is the mindset of resilience. It's about turning setbacks into comebacks, using every fall as a stepping stone to rise even higher. Imagine this Les Brown, a kid labeled educable, mentally retarded, standing in a classroom, humiliated and struggling. Most people would have accepted defeat. Most would have let that label define them, but not Les. He decided that someone else's opinion of him would not become his reality. He pushed forward, studied harder, practiced speaking, and turned his struggle into his superpower. Years later, that same kid, once called dumb, became one of the world's greatest motivational speakers. That's the power of resilience. Life will throw challenges at you. You might lose your job, face a breakup, or experience a financial setback. But as Les says, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. This isn't just a quote, it's a declaration. When you adopt this mindset, setbacks become temporary. Obstacles become opportunities. You start seeing challenges not as roadblocks, but as tests, and every test is a chance to prove your strength. One of the most powerful lessons from Les is to shift from a victim mentality to a victor mentality. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? When you change your questions, you change your mindset. When you change your mindset, you change your results. If life has knocked you down, get back up. If doors have closed, find a window. If opportunities seem scarce, create your own. Remember, as Les Brown would say, you have greatness within you, but that greatness is only revealed through resilience. It shines the brightest when the world tries to dim your light. So keep moving forward, keep getting up, and no matter what life throws at you, keep saying, it's not over until I win. We've all been there, when the path gets rough, when progress feels slow, when giving up seems like the easiest option. But here's a truth that separates those who succeed from those who settle. Persistence is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Les Brown often says you gotta be hungry. That hunger is not just a desire, it's a relentless drive. It's the refusal to quit, no matter how tough things get. Think about this. Les Brown didn't become a world-renowned speaker overnight. He faced rejection after rejection. Early in his career, he was told he lacked the talent, that he didn't have the right voice, that he wasn't fit for the stage. But instead of quitting, he practiced harder, studied more, and refined his craft. When he couldn't get paid speaking gigs, he spoke for free. When no one would give him a chance, he created his own opportunities. That's the kind of persistence that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Les teaches us that success is not about perfection. It's about progression. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. He says if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's easy to give up. It's easy to make excuses. But success lives in that uncomfortable space where most people give up. It lives in the 10th rep when your muscles are burning. It lives in the early mornings when no one else is awake. It lives in the extra hours when others are relaxing. Les Brown often shares the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. When you plant a bamboo seed, nothing happens in the first year. You water it, nurture it, but there's no visible growth. Year 2, still nothing. Year 3, nothing. Year 4, not even a sprout. But in the 5th year, something amazing happens. The bamboo tree shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. But here's the question. Did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks or in 5 years? The answer is clear. It was all those years of persistent watering, nurturing, and faith that led to that incredible growth. And that's how success works. You might not see results right away. It might feel like nothing is changing. But every effort, every struggle, every setback, it's all building your foundation. If you're in a season of struggle, if you feel like nothing is working, remember the bamboo tree. Keep watering your dreams. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Because as Les Brown would say, it's not over until I win. The victory is not always in the result. Sometimes the victory is in the refusal to quit. And if you keep going, if you keep pushing, if you keep fighting, your breakthrough will come. If you want to change your life, you need to start by changing your mind. Les Brown says, "As you think, so shall you become." Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant and nurture will grow, whether it's flowers of opportunity or weeds of doubt. The question is, what are you planting? If you're planting thoughts of failure, fear, and negativity, that's exactly what you'll harvest. But if you plant seeds of hope, success, and abundance, your life will transform. When Les was labeled as mentally retarded, he could have believed it. But one teacher changed his life by saying, "Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." That simple shift in thinking became the foundation of his success. He started to visualize himself as a speaker, practicing in front of mirrors, talking to empty chairs, preparing for the opportunity before it arrived. This is the power of visualization and belief. When you see it in your mind, you start to act differently. You speak differently. You move differently. And the world begins to align with the image you hold in your mind. One of Lisa's most powerful tools is affirmations. He often says, "I'm the one. I will succeed. I am powerful. I am unstoppable." These are not just words, they are commands to the subconscious mind. The brain believes what you tell it. So tell it a story of greatness. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," guess what? You'll act like you're not good enough. But if you say, "I am capable, I am strong, I am destined for success," your mind will find ways to make it happen. We all have limiting beliefs. Thoughts like, "I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough experience. I'm not smart enough." But Les teaches us to challenge these beliefs. Instead of saying, "I can't," start asking, "How can I?" Instead of saying, "It's impossible," ask, "What steps can I take to make this possible?" This simple shift in language turns walls into doors. Les Brown emphasizes daily rituals for maintaining a strong mindset. Read books that feed your mind. Listen to motivational speakers. Surround yourself with positive influences. Speak life into your goals every morning. As he says, you have greatness within you, but greatness doesn't happen by accident. It is cultivated by what you do every day. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. Be intentional about what you allow in. If a negative thought enters, replace it with a positive one. If you find yourself doubting, remind yourself of all you've overcome. As Les Brown would say, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. The life you want starts in your mind. Master it, and there's nothing you can't achieve. Many people run from struggle. They avoid discomfort. They seek the easy way out. But here's a secret that separates the average from the extraordinary. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Les Brown has a powerful quote. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Success is not the absence of struggle. It's about pushing through the struggle, embracing it, learning from it, and growing stronger because of it. Les often talks about his early days when he was trying to get into public speaking. He faced constant rejection. People told him he wasn't good enough. They laughed at his voice, his appearance, and his message. But instead of quitting, he used each rejection as fuel. He didn't avoid the pain. He leaned into it. He practiced speaking in front of mirrors to empty rooms, doing everything he could to improve. Every no he received was a step closer to his eventual success. Les says, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. This is a truth you must understand. The bigger the struggle, the greater the reward. The comfort zone is a dangerous place. It feels safe. It feels easy. But it's also where dreams go to die. As Les would tell you, if you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. The moment you stop challenging yourself, stop stepping outside your comfort zone, that's when you stop growing. But every time you push yourself, whether it's through a tough workout, a challenging project, or a difficult conversation, you are building resilience and strength. Failure is not the end. In fact, failure is often a sign that you're on the right track. Les Brown always says, don't say, I've failed. Say, I've learned. If you've failed, it means you've tried. And every failure holds a lesson. The most successful people in the world don't just embrace failure, they seek it out. They're not afraid to fail because they know failure is just another opportunity to learn, grow, and get better. Stop avoiding the pain. Stop running from the challenges. Embrace the struggle. It's through adversity that you'll develop the mental toughness, the resilience, and the strength to become the person you're meant to be. As Les Brown would say, your dream is possible, and no one can stop you except you. So take the leap, get uncomfortable, take risks, and trust that on the other side of that struggle is the life you've always dreamed of. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn in life is the power of purpose. Les Brown says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. But what if I told you the key to starting isn't just about taking action? It's about taking action with purpose, with a deep understanding of why you're doing it. Les was not born with every door open to him. He was born into tough circumstances, with many challenges stacked against him. But he had one thing that many others didn't: clarity of purpose. Les knew that he wanted to speak, to inspire, to make a difference. His purpose was his fuel. It was the thing that kept him going even when doors were slammed in his face, when he was rejected again and again. That clarity of purpose gave him the courage to keep moving forward despite the obstacles. Your purpose is the North Star guiding you through the darkest nights. Without it, you might wander aimlessly, tossed around by the winds of life's unpredictability. Living with purpose means every decision you make has meaning. When you have a clear vision of your purpose, you make intentional decisions. You act with intention, not just by reacting to what comes your way. Les teaches us that purpose is not just a feeling. It's the driving force behind every action you take, every challenge you face, and every victory you claim. He says, "Live full, die empty." What does this mean? It means don't leave your talents, your dreams, and your purpose unfulfilled. Live with passion and give everything you've got to your mission. Without a sense of purpose, life becomes like a ship drifting without a destination. You might find temporary satisfaction in the daily grind, but without that deeper calling, you'll always feel like something's missing. Les would tell you, the richest place in the world is the graveyard because there are so many dreams, ideas, and talents that were never fully realized. Don't let that be you. Don't let your dreams die without leaving an impact. Ask yourself today, what is your why? What lights you up? What drives you to keep going, even when the road gets tough? Find your purpose. Once you have it, go all in. Les Brown is living proof that when you align your life with a powerful purpose, anything is possible. As he says, you have greatness within you. Let that greatness rise up and guide you towards the life you were meant to live. Change is often seen as something difficult, uncomfortable, and even scary. But here's a powerful truth. Reinvention is the key to living your best life. Les Brown is the epitome of reinvention. His life has been a series of transformations from a struggling young man with low self-esteem to a world-renowned motivational speaker. And the beauty of reinvention is that it's not something you do once. It's a continuous process. Les Brown's journey has been anything but easy. As a young man, he struggled with self-doubt and was even labeled as mentally retarded. The label society put on him could have been his story, but he chose to rewrite his story. Les didn't just settle for who he was. He constantly reinvented himself, pushing past limitations and evolving into a better version of himself each day. From the shy, insecure young man he once was to the powerful speaker who travels the world, he embodies the power of reinvention. He would say life has no limitations except the ones you make. Les refused to let his past define his future, and you must do the same. To reinvent yourself, you first have to look inward. Self-reflection is the first step toward change. Ask yourself, what parts of me are holding me back? If you're stuck in a rut, it's time to dig deep and confront the beliefs, habits, and patterns that are keeping you where you are. Les Brown encourages us to ask the tough questions. What are my current beliefs about myself? What habits are sabotaging my success? How can I become a better version of myself today? When you're honest with yourself, when you take responsibility for your life and your choices, that's when true transformation begins. It's one thing to want to change, but the magic happens when you take action. Les teaches that the best way to reinvent yourself is to act as if you're already the person you want to become. If you want to be more confident, start taking actions that a confident person would take. If you want to be more successful, begin doing the work that successful people do, even if you don't feel ready. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment, but to make the moment perfect through consistent action. Les says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Reinvention doesn't happen overnight. but every single day offers you the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? And start taking those first steps today. You're never too old to change, and it's never too late to start. As Lise Brown reminds us, you've got greatness within you. Step into that greatness and begin your journey of reinvention today. Fear is a natural part of life, but what if I told you that fear is the only thing standing between you and your dreams? Les Brown often says, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Fear doesn't have to control you. In fact, fear is often the signal that you're on the edge of greatness. Fear shows up when we're about to step outside of our comfort zone, when we're about to take risks, and when we're about to do something extraordinary. But you have the power to decide, will you let fear stop you, or will you use it to propel you forward? Les Brown didn't just face external obstacles, he faced inner fears too. In his early years, he was terrified of public speaking. He was afraid of rejection, afraid of failure, but he knew that if he didn't face his fears, he would never fulfill his purpose. Les says, fear is the most debilitating emotion, and it is the most self-defeating. He didn't let fear paralyze him. He faced it head-on and turned it into motivation. In fact, he used his fear to fuel his determination. One of his most famous speeches was the result of his battle with fear. Les pushed through his fear of failure, and that speech became the turning point in his career. So ask yourself, what is your fear stopping you from doing? What opportunities are you missing because you're afraid to take the leap? Overcoming fear isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily battle. Every time you're faced with a choice that makes you nervous, that feels uncomfortable, that scares you, do it anyway. Les Brown encourages us to feel the fear and do it anyway. Fear is only as powerful as you allow it to be. Every time you take action in spite of fear, you weaken its hold over you. And remember, fear doesn't vanish overnight. It's about building courage to act in the presence of fear. Les says, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to take action in spite of it. The antidote to fear is not waiting for it to disappear. It's moving forward in the face of it. What would you do if you weren't afraid? What would your life look like if you decided to act despite the fear? When you act anyway, you start to build a new habit, a habit of facing fear with confidence. And with every step you take, you'll find that the fear starts to shrink and your confidence grows. Today, make a decision to no longer let fear control you. Face it, acknowledge it, then use it as fuel for your journey. Les Brown often says, if you can look up, you can get up. If you can face your fears, you can rise higher than ever before. So what are you waiting for? The world is waiting for you to show up and make a difference. Life will knock you down. That's not a question. The real question is, how will you respond? Les Brown often says, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. This isn't just a motivational line. It's a mindset. It's a way of seeing every setback as an opportunity for a comeback. Les Brown is no stranger to adversity. He faced poverty, rejection, and failure, but what made him different was his resilience. When he was labeled as educable, mentally retarded, he could have believed it. He could have let that label define his future. Instead, he chose to rewrite his story. He used those setbacks as the foundation for his success. Les would tell you that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone toward your dreams. Resilience is about more than just surviving tough times. It's about thriving because of them. When life throws challenges your way, resilience is what helps you bounce back stronger. Les teaches that resilience isn't just about getting back up. It's about learning from every fall. It's about growing through every hardship. He says, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. That's the attitude you need to cultivate. When life hits you hard, hit back harder. Your pain can be your greatest asset. Think about it. Every time you've faced difficulty, you've gained strength, wisdom, and experience. Les often shares stories of how he turned his struggles into stories of hope, how he used his pain to inspire millions. He didn't hide his scars. He celebrated them. He showed the world that scars are proof of survival. When you transform your pain into power, you take control of your life. You become unstoppable. Resilience is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Start by embracing small challenges. Face discomfort. Push yourself out of your comfort zone regularly. When you face bigger challenges, you'll find that your resilience muscle is strong enough to handle them. Les would tell you, you have the power to handle whatever life throws at you. Believe it. Embrace it. Live it. No matter what you're facing right now, this is not your final chapter. Your story isn't over. Your comeback is just beginning. Les Brown often reminds us, it's not over until I win. Make that your mantra. Let every setback be a setup for your comeback. And remember, the world loves a good comeback story. Make yours the greatest one ever told. We've traveled through powerful insights, transformative stories, and timeless wisdom inspired by Les Brown. From believing in yourself when no one else does, to overcoming fear, building resilience, and embracing relentless persistence. Every step of this journey has led us here, to this defining moment. But let me ask you this, what will you do with it? Knowledge without action is just potential. It's like a car with a full tank of gas but no destination. You have everything you need to start your journey to greatness, but you must take the wheel. Les Brown often says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Today is the day to start. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. The greatest turning points in life often come down to one decision. You can decide to keep living life as you are, staying in your comfort zone, letting fear, doubt, and excuses hold you back. Or you can decide that today is the day you take control. Decide to unleash the greatness within you. Decide to give the world your gift, to share your story, to become the person you were meant to be. As Les Brown says, you have greatness within you. But greatness isn't about what you have. It's about what you give. It's not about success, it's about significance. Right now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine your dream life. Imagine the impact you want to make, the life you want to live, the legacy you want to leave behind. Now, open your eyes, because your dream life is waiting for you, ... But it won't wait forever. Opportunities don't stick around. You need to seize them. You need to take bold, fearless action. Les Brown urges us, if you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams. So ignite that hunger. Let it burn within you. Let it drive you forward, no matter what challenges you face. You are the author of your own story. The pen is in your hand and the page is blank. Write a story that makes the world stand up and take notice. Write a story filled with courage, resilience, and victory. And when you reach the end of your story, make sure you can look back with no regrets, knowing you lived fully, loved deeply, and gave everything you had. As Lise Brown would say, live full, die empty. The time is now. Go out there and unleash your greatness. If you're ready to unleash your greatness, hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful motivation, and turn on the notification bell. Your journey starts now.